You know that feeling, just completely swamped with information, and all you want is, like, the crucial stuff delivered straight.
Yeah, exactly. That's what we try to do here.
Cut through the noise, bring you the knowledge that actually matters. That's the idea behind the deep dive.
And today we're taking one of those deep dives into a really interesting space.
Absolutely. It's where managing and developing people, human resource management, HRM, and human resource development, HRD meets generative AI.
Right, and specifically looking at it through the lens of Taiwanese small and medium-sized enterprises, SMEs.
In our roadmap for this, it's actually pretty cool. We're using a syllabus from a course.
Yeah, it's called EL Part 2 AI HR HR.
Yeah.
So basically, Organizational Behavior Management Part 2 AI HR Practices.
Okay.
It's taught by Professor Shihmin at National Chinan University.
And what's really key here, I think, is who this course is for.
Exactly. It's designed for business owners, mid to high-level managers, people in Taiwanese SMEs with like a decade of real-world experience.
So not just academic theory. This stuff is meant to be practical.
Totally practical. So our mission today is pretty clear. Pull out the key insights from this syllabus.
We want to get a handle on modern HRM HRD, understand how Gen AI is shaking things up, and crucially, figure out how businesses, maybe like yours listening, can actually use these ideas.
Right. Let's do it.
Okay, first things first. How does this syllabus define the fundamentals? HRM and HRD.
Well, it frames HRM as the strategic approach an organization takes to managing its people. It's human capital, really, to achieve its goals.
Right, the overall strategy.
And HRD, that's more focused on the growth aspect, helping employees build their skills, their knowledge, their abilities. Good for them, good for the company.
Okay, so HRM is the structure, HRD is the growth within it. And the syllabus lays out a kind of core structure for HRM itself, doesn't it? Something about selection, development.
Yes, exactly. It uses this framework, OACRO.
Let's break that down.
Okay, so is selection getting the right people? Is development nurturing them? But the syllabus pairs it with environment, environment.
So development and environment. Why is that pairing important?
Well, it really highlights that you can't just have development programs. You need a supportive environment for that development to actually, stick and be effective.
That makes a lot of sense. Okay, what's next in the framework?
Then comes utilization, making sure people's skills are used effectively in their jobs. And finally, retention and compensation, keeping good people and rewarding them fairly.
Selection, development environment, utilization, retention, compensation. Okay, got it. A clear flow.
It's a pretty solid model, yeah.
Now, the other big piece, AI, specifically generative AI. How does the syllabus introduce that?
It starts broad, defining AI as, machines doing tasks that usually need human smarts.
Right.
But then it zooms in on generative AI, Gen AI. And the key thing there is its ability to create.
Create? Like create what?
New content, text, images, code, based on all the data it's learned from. It doesn't just analyze, it actually generates something new.
Okay, that's a crucial distinction. So we've got the HR basics, the structure, and this powerful Gen AI tool. How does this syllabus connect these to the bigger picture for businesses today?
It really emphasizes that HR isn't static. HRM and HRD are facing big shifts. Organizations are changing fast. Finding and keeping talent is a constant struggle.
And everyone wants to be more efficient, right?
Always. And that's where AI comes in. The syllabus positions it not as some far-off thing, but as a tool that's already creating opportunities across HR.
So it's about augmenting HR professionals, not replacing them, giving them new tools.
Precisely. The course aims to equip these managers and owners to use AI strategically, to tackle those challenges: change, talent gaps, efficiency.
Okay, practical applications. Let's get down to specifics then. The syllabus goes through different HR areas, starting with recruitment.
Right. Recruitment and selection, the traditional process, figuring out needs, sourcing candidates, screening, interviewing.
The usual drill. Where does Gen AI fit? The syllabus mentions job descriptions and resumes.
Yeah, two really concrete examples. For job descriptions, Gen AI can analyze tons of data from successful postings.
What kind of data?
Like keywords, skills, phrasing that attracts the right people. It can then generate drafts that are potentially more compelling, maybe even more inclusive.
Inclusive? How so?
Well, for these Taiwanese SMEs, it might help avoid certain culturally specific phrases that could accidentally put off some candidates, broaden the appeal.
Huh. That's a subtle but potentially powerful benefit. Okay, and resume analysis, that seems like a natural fit for AI.
Absolutely. Imagine screening hundreds, thousands of resumes. AI can do that initial pass incredibly fast.
Just matching keywords and skills against the job description.
Exactly. It flags the most relevant candidates, letting HR focus their time on the best prospects, not just wading through piles of applications.
Makes sense. Streamlining that initial, often time-consuming step. Okay, moving on. After hiring, there's developing people. Training. The syllabus mentions learning maps and the ADDIE model.
Yeah, ADDIE analysis, design, development, implementation, evaluation. It's a standard framework for building training programs.
And Gen AI can help with that.
Big time, especially in the development phase. Think about generating training materials like summaries, maybe quizzes, even first drafts of course content.
And those learning maps, what are they exactly?
They're basically personalized roadmaps for an employee's growth, charting out the skills or knowledge needed for their current role or future career steps. Gen AI could potentially help create these more personalized paths.
Personalized learning generated by AI. That
Yes.
sounds really efficient. Tailored to the individual.
And the syllabus also suggests AI can help track progress, analyze assessment results, see where people might need a bit more support.
So more targeted training interventions.
Yeah.
Very cool. Okay, next up. Performance management. The dreaded performance review.
Yeah. Well, the syllabus talks about designing good systems using things like OKRs, objectives, and key results, and KPIs, key performance indicators.
Setting clear goals and measures. How can AI assist there?
It can help track progress towards those goals automatically. It can analyze performance data to spot trends, maybe highlight areas needing attention.
And even help with feedback.
Potentially, yes,
Yeah.
by generating suggestions for feedback based on that data. The idea is to make feedback maybe a bit more objective, more data-driven.
But hang on, AI-generated feedback. Doesn't that risk sounding, well, robotic? Especially in SMEs where relationships matter a lot.
That's a super important point.
Yeah.
And the syllabus likely wouldn't suggest AI delivers the feedback. It's a tool for the manager.
Okay, so it provides the data points, the suggestion.
Right. But the manager still needs to have that human conversation, deliver it thoughtfully, empathetically. AI supports, it doesn't replace that crucial interaction.
Got it. That distinction is key. All right, let's talk compensation and benefits. Always a sensitive area. The syllabus mentions internal equity and external competitiveness.
Yeah, balancing fair pay within the company against what the market offers. It's tricky.
So how does AI help?
The syllabus points to AI tools that can simulate different compensation structures.
Simulate, like run what-if scenarios.
Exactly. Model the impact of different salary bands or benefit packages on the budget, on retention, maybe even morale. Helps make more informed decisions.
That sounds incredibly useful for strategic planning. Okay, what about the softer side? Organizational culture, employee relations.
Also important, the syllabus covers diagnosing culture, managing change, communication.
Can AI really help with culture? It feels very human.
Well, it can help analyze data related to culture. Think employee surveys. AI can process huge amounts of text feedback, identify recurring themes, gauge sentiment.
So it's about analyzing the data about culture, like survey responses or maybe even internal communication pattern.
Precisely. It can help you kind of take the pulse of the organization in a more systematic way, finding patterns maybe humans would miss, identify potential friction points early.
Fascinating. So many touch points. Now, the syllabus included a case study, right, to make all this more concrete.
Yes, a really good one. Human strategy transformation under performance difficulties.
Sounds traumatic. What was the situation?
It was a Taiwanese SME manufacturing electronic components. They were facing fluctuating orders, problems scheduling production, and just generally low morale.
Okay, a tough spot. What were the specific triggers, the pain points?
Employees felt appraisals were unclear, bonuses seemed random, managers were totally overloaded, new hires were leaving quickly,
Ouch.
and some longer-serving employees were resistant to learning new skills, especially anything involving AI.
A classic mix of problems. How did the syllabus analyze this using the HRM HRD lens?
From the HRM side, the big issue was the lack of a clear, transparent performance system. No obvious link between performance and reward.
Okay.
From the HRD side, it was about employees not understanding the company's strategy, not seeing a path for their own development, which led to low motivation to learn.
Right, so the system was broken, HRM, and people weren't engaged in growth, HRD. What were the proposed solutions?
For HRM, redesign the whole performance system. Clear KPIs, OKRs, proper appraisal interviews, explicit links between performance rewards and development.
Makes sense. And for HRD.
Create competency-based training maps, show people what skills they need, offer coaching training for managers, and run workshops on digital tools and AI to build confidence in skills.
So, fixing the system and investing in people's skills and their managers, where did AI fit into these solutions specifically?
Several places. They suggested AI-powered performance management tools, maybe AI helping draft initial appraisal comments based on data.
Like we discussed earlier.
Exactly. Also using HR cost analysis tools, likely AI-driven, to understand the financial side better.
And for the development part.
Using Gen AI to create those personalized learning maps we talked about. Maybe generating micro courses for manager training, building internal knowledge bases. Lots of potential HRD applications.
Really practical examples. Did they talk about how to measure if this transformation actually worked?
Oh yeah, definitely. They listed KPIs, things like improved consistency in appraisals, lower turnover, better production efficiency.
So, hard business metrics too.
Yep. Plus training participation rates, application of learning on the job, and of course, employee satisfaction scores. A whole range.
Very thorough. And the syllabus didn't just present the case, it asked questions too.
Right. It pushed the students, the managers, to think, if you were the HR manager here, how would you design an integrated HRM HRD solution using AI?
Putting them in the driver's seat.
Exactly. And there were practical tasks too, apparently, like using ChatGPT to draft templates for performance goals or development suggestions.
Wow.
Or even creating a script for managers to use in performance review meetings. Really hands-on stuff.
That's fantastic. It really connects the theory to what you'd actually do. Okay, so wrapping up our deep dive into Professor Lowe's syllabus. That's the main takeaway here.
I think the biggest thing is just how much potential Gen AI has to, really support and even transform HR functions, especially for SMEs.
It's not just for the giant corporations.
Not at all. It's about augmenting what HR professionals do, making processes smoother, insights clearer, development more personalized. It's a powerful toolkit.
It really touches everything from finding talent to developing them, managing performance, compensation, the whole cycle.
The whole cycle, yeah. It offers ways to boost efficiency and make more strategic data-informed decisions.
So for everyone listening, thinking about their own company, maybe an SME, what's a final question they should ponder from all this?
Kind of a good question to ask yourself is, looking at your specific HR processes, recruitment, training, performance, whatever, where do you see the biggest opportunity? Based on what we've discussed, which area in your organization could get the most benefit from smartly applying some of these Gen AI tools?
That's a great question to leave people with, because it's clear HR is evolving fast.
It really is. Staying informed, being adaptable, exploring these tools, it's going to be crucial for businesses going forward.
Definitely something to think about. Well, thanks for walking us through that syllabus. Really insightful stuff.
My pleasure. It was interesting material.
And thanks to all of you for joining us on this deep dive. We hope it gave you some valuable, practical insights into the intersection of HRM, HRD, and generative AI, especially for SMEs. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning.